Okay, we are live.
Good
Yay.
afternoon from Washington, D.C.
Yes. Good afternoon. Happy Venus Friday. Amazing Friday, November 16th.
The most beautiful day that we get to celebrate our official anniversary on November 16th.
Yeah. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. So grab your tea and join us as we are sharing this anniversary. It's hot.
It's warm.
It's wonderful. Let's see who's ready to join us here today. I want to make sure the okay, so this is available and checking and making sure everything's good. So we're looking to see who will be on with us so we can make sure the live is working, because we just need a quick little feedback. So give us a minute for a second. Let me see if this is working. One moment. Okay. Hi, Dimitris. You with
Hello,
us?
Dimitris.
So much love.
Hello.
Can you hear us okay? Loud and crystal clear. Yay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Dimitris, welcome. Welcome, welcome in your celebration. Hopefully you have your tea and you can join us. And maybe we'll see if there's a way that we can, let's see, participant. Let me just see something. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, maybe we can interact a little bit more. Hopefully, Dimitris, you have your tea and you're able to be with us right now in just that relaxation as we're drinking, and we're going to talk about our Friday.
Yeah.
And everything that happened after 11/11. But let us talk about just today for a second. So, Dimitris, thank you so much for being with us. We're a little giddy today, and we're so excited that you just happened to be with us on our anniversary. It means a lot to us.
What a beautiful day. The sun is out after some wonderful snow, some beautiful transformation of weather. We get to feel the sun and the warmth and just the beauty in our hearts today.
Yeah.
How amazing. It's been 2 years. Wow.
I know.
2 years.
You're like, wow.
Just because it feels like it's been 2,000 years. It feels like it's been, we always say when people met, how long have you been? We said, oh, only for 11,000 years. But to imagine that in Baltimore, in a galactic sound vibration,
galactic shamanic
sound medicine, that everything from that day.
But you're skipping words in between, Michael.
Because I'm a little giddy.
So, it's funny because we've been celebrating from Wednesday. You really focus more on the date, which is the 16th. Yeah. And I focus more on the day of the week, which was Wednesday, which for me was Wednesday. It's so funny because it was Wednesday of 2 years ago. We met this week. And the date is today. So we have both of them. Hello, Doreen. Thank you so much for joining us. Doreen. Thank you so much. And it's kind of it's a little bit giddy. By the way, do you like my flower?
It looks beautiful.
I don't know if it's staying though. We'll see. So it's kind of interesting because this week when we went to Rise and we got a chance to talk to Marsha and Lisa and Mariam and discovering that 2 years ago, that day where I was busy setting up with Safi, setting up the room in Baltimore at the fire station house and just getting the altar ready, getting all the seats ready. And you were busy talking to somebody in the back. And that was when we just met like about an hour and a half before that Safi's house. And we were talking, but I was very focused on the event. And came out. You guys still hadn't come. Went in there. It's like, hey, it's ready, and you guys came out. But to find out the person you were talking to was Marsha.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2 years later.
2 years later,
waiting for her beautiful, wonderful galactic sound, shamanic vibration. It was phenomenal to wait as they set the room up, and then all of a sudden 45 people came in and we were still talking, and no one got us. So finally, they did get us, and I was kind of like, wow, I wanted to kind of be front and center, because after meeting Honey previously, I wanted to really feel the highest vibration. So I tend to be that kind of like, not nerd, but like I like to sit in the front row. I like to get the best of what's experienced, because I knew immediately when we met there was just
a lot of
connections, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of energies moving back and forth. So to go there and to really see you in your fullest expression.
Yeah, you saw quite a bit that night before my headdress, like just all the voices.
Like for me, like and it was funny because many people, Honey's always told me that, like, a lot of people haven't really accepted her for who she is. A lot of people may hide, they want to protect her. Well, I grew up with like some very new age, spiritual, hippie, like out there family. Put me in spiritual school, threw me out into like just the wild, the weird, the strange, the beautiful, loving individual. So when I saw Honey, it was like this, wow, I found my peeps. Like there's chanting and there's feathers and there's all of this just energy, light language, and it was like this complete expression that there was nothing being held back, and to be a part of that with 45 people, and what I thought was so magical, in a place where my parents are from, where my whole family is from. Like Baltimore has been the central hub of our family. My parents took us out to the countryside. So to be in that dense area, and
I have had nothing to do with Baltimore. Yeah. I never facilitated it, nothing. Just it was the first time.
And it was kind of a little in the ghetto. I mean, bless all the wonderful people, but it was in an area where I did tell our dear friend Safi Lane, who was the catalyst that brought us together. It was
Hi,
amazing.
Ashley. Thank you for joining us too.
Okay, yeah. It was a catalyst that brought us together. So it was amazing for all those that have experienced Honey and her fullness. Imagine the first time seeing that. And I felt like my 3D body, like I just left to that multidimensional, and it wasn't even like the love, the attraction, the energy of.
You were attracted.
I felt beyond that. It was like this. It was like this universal signal of like interconnection. Like like the human experience. You have the feelings, you have the emotions. Yet for me, it was this feeling of direct connection, that there are people out there. Yeah. There are individuals like us that when we come out in our fullness of who we are, we can connect with. And recently, as I shared a post this morning, I was coming back from Bali, where there is that hub that allows you to be who you are. So to come back to Maryland with sometimes just a little cookie cut, and then to experience that and to have that literally, I felt like was like a boom.
It was a very special night because Safi did not just, we talked about it last week, just what took place 2 years ago this week, that it still rings. And even last year, the 11/11 facilitated with, again, Safi and Reverend Anna Jones. And Reverend Anna Jones would be with us this Sunday. And there's just a lot of this energy together. But that night specifically was very interesting because Saint Germain was very, very present. As I'll post a picture of it that I gathered at the end where everybody had come together. There's a picture I took because I received Saint Germain is here, and you really see the violet flame all over the room.
Right above me, there was the
especially
picture.
There was one right above Michael, which was incredible. But I feel that night what was so interesting was without I was interviewing Safi for the Bringers of Light video series, and you came in and just all that we exchanged right away, and the amount that was sort of like exchanged very quickly, how fast the information was, the data file between us was exchanged, and then going to the event. And I feel what I break this into two parts. One is the event was so magical because I felt I only had like 4 or 5 RSVPs, and when I went, there were 45 people that came because it was a very strong call to the StarSeeds to come in. And I didn't even for a second think that there would be StarSeeds in Baltimore, of all the places, which is so industrial. So that was a big surprise. And then the other part of it was to experience that and how deep people went, and the connection with a few people that, like Chris Hammett I had met before, but Kimberly was there, who's become very close to us. David Goodenough, who I'd seen at the 5 Rhythm Dance. Then he sent me the most beautiful email afterwards, what he experienced. Modesty and Myra were there, which just, it's been so beautiful. That connection. Z, that was part of our StarSeed, being able to connect at that level. It was just so incredible. And of course, Marsha, to then connect it back to this week. I feel the part that was so beautiful when we left, Yumi and Safi, like how supportive you were. You were so kind and supportive. And like I shared with you, you really complimented me, but from such a deep place of genuineness and kindness, because I've typically been put down, and the events, they're like, wow, amazing, grateful, but mostly like, tone it down. No, you upset people. Your level of joy is too much for people, or like, no, don't do that. You make people uncomfortable. So that's constantly what I've been around, but at some point I gave that up a while ago and just allowing myself to be me. But that night you were so supportive. And it felt so nice to have a man, not in a way that you were just trying to get into my pants or anything like that, or my skirt, but you were just so genuinely respectful in what was brought forth. And it felt so wonderful. And that night when we went back to Safi's, again, the exchange that we had with the experience with Metatron, very present in Metatron, and the way we exchanged our phone number was very interesting.
Well,
too.
Some of the magical things that happened was when we came back, when we met at first, we were just meeting over soup. And so there was these connections of like, I've been called to go to Tulum. Like, oh, you're going to Tulum? And I said, yeah, it's supposed to be around, 12/21. They said, really? I'm supposed to go to 12/12/21. And then it was powerful.
It was 12/12.
12/12. And then it was very powerful to see that little...
Because I was supposed to be in Brazil until that morning.
Right.
I kept feeling 2 weeks earlier, wow, it's changing. They're asking me to go to Mexico instead. And I talked to Valerie that morning, and her position had changed. So that morning I said, oh my gosh, for those of you that don't know, that morning when I talked to Valerie, I said, after we got off the phone, I said, wow, I have to be in Tulum. And usually it's been my galactic gay brothers, either Darius or Mark, on the land with me. And I just said to the universe, I said, whoever is the male energy that's supposed to be on the land with me, bring him now. And that was it. And then I left.
You knew something funny? I came back from Bali, and there was a vision given to me about going to Mexico, meeting a shaman that was going to help close my business in Mexico. Right. I just put out to the universe, and I said, okay, universe, I am in the hands of you. Whoever I'm supposed to meet, whoever I'm supposed to be guided to. And I just put out this feeling of excitement, joy, of like, okay, there's going to be someone coming along. And no doubt, it was more like someone's coming along, and I would have never imagined it was my soulmate, my twin flame. It wasn't. It was just that beingness of like, okay, something big's going to happen. Yeah, for me, it wasn't
like that. It's serving.
It's serving. And so when we came together, it was powerful because it just like click.
But how long did you take? Because I asked it that morning and I met you that night.
I asked.
Was yours like a week delay?
Mine was earlier actually. Mine was in November. When I came back from Bali, I was doing shamanic journeys and meditating. And as I was meeting my spirit guide, I was putting out to the universe.
So yours was a month.
Mine was like late. It materialized. Mine was like probably late October, early November. Actually, it was November because I knew there was a time frame. It was early November because I knew there was a time frame that I had to get back to Mexico.
So bad you had 2 weeks. That call went out till it came.
Coming out. So it was interesting how when we met and when we left, I sent her my text just to connect later.
No, because right away we knew. I said, wait a minute. It looks like we have to, right away, there's something going on. We may have to travel together. So Michael gave his number so we can talk the next day. And
I texted right at 12:12.
When he sent me the text, it arrived at 12:12. I still have our full conversation of text.
Wow.
I have all of it. Wow. I have all the text we sent to each other in a full email.
And my number being
9777. It
Triple
is.
sevens.
Yeah, which was a huge one. So the next day we talked, and and right away, it was immediately
Right away
after
we were-
that we saw each other that Friday, which would have been today. So this week, 2 years ago, we met, and what was amazing was I was with my sacred sister Bonita. She had come in, so we're doing some little bit of healing, and Council of Light had come through me to bring some information for Bonita, and I'd organized with Michael to come so we can go just sit down and talk, because there was a lot of things that were exchanged, and I was getting ready to go, and so I was like, "Are you the person that's supposed to go with me? So let's explore this." And I remember when Michael came to the house, I feel that's when I had like a little, ooh, something, and that was it. But I remember when you came in. Well, no, but in that initial moment, because it wasn't Wednesday, it was that initial moment. I was like, something like sparked in my heart. There was like a little spark.
So sitting down.
Till you came in, and then Bonita expanded, has just come in from experiencing the channel of Council of Light, and I was in that space, just back in my body. And so right away, she was like, messages for you too. I never forget, Michael. When we sat at the table in the kitchen, she's like, come here. You sat there, I sat there, and then
she said, you are the divine sparks of each other's soul that have splintered off from each other, and you are here to serve to the highest.
No, you're each other's soul charts. You carry each other's charts.
You guys carry each of each other's charts in your soul.
And you're supposed to do your work together and all of this.
And me and Honey are just like looking across the table.
I was not going to look at Michael. I felt so uncomfortable.
And I was just like giddy, being like, wow, this is interesting. I just met Honey, and all of a sudden I'm learning this is the shard of the souls that we've made a contact with each other so we could be brought forward. I mean, how about a first like getting together of, okay,
it was
if the class was not, deep and enlightening, then to meet and have Benita just pour out.
I mean, it was like no filter.
Yeah.
I was blushed.
Yeah. Well, you had your glasses on because I could see you were looking down, and I was just looking at the table, just taking it in, because it's like,
I was looking. I just didn't like. Oh my God, there's too much sweating here, and it was a warm day, if you remember.
It was very warm.
Went to DC. We went, hung out, we talked. We went ate at Busway and Boyd, and then we went to the dance. That was another part. Just to see the fullness of dance and sounds and light language writing. Really great time.
It's amazing to see how this is really come together, because like that was just the start of what we've really seen over these past 2 years of just unbelievable, extraordinary.
There's a lot.
Adventures, transmissions, channels, and just the healings that we've been so honored to serve. And what I really feel grateful is to share this and the joy and the excitement between us, but also share it with you, because for those that are out there that are either in divine relationships or are searching for one, it just gives hope and belief that when we really place that intention out, which I feel we both consciously did, and then we did that with joy, we did that with happiness, and then we allowed it to come forth without getting angry or looking at what expectation or why does it have to happen this way. We just allowed the universe to guide it. And as it came forth, there is that universal laws. You place that out. You put the energy into the heart. Yeah. Allow that to happen. And now we're grateful to share these messages, share the joy with you, and to really allow this support that we feel that we get to honor here internationally as we grow in this beautiful ascension.
Yeah, I feel, Michael, that's so important, because a couple of the things is some of my closest ones around me knew how long I've been, serving the planetary work and all these different countries, and typically by myself. A couple of times, like either Darius or Mark was, whether it was in Brazil or like, for example, in Europe or Australia, a couple of them had joined with me, but typically it's been alone. But as the frequencies started getting stronger and stronger, my vessel couldn't carry it. Then it needed to be another one on the land with me, just so that it can ground it easier as I would expand even higher. And one of the things was I was told who is coming. So I was on a lookout for that. And for me, I was not interested in dating. I was not interested in having just regular relationships. None of that was in my consciousness. For me, it was very clear. The person who's coming, we are to serve together, and it is a divine union. There was a very specific image that beloved Yeshua and Mary Magdalene had given me, and that's what I was looking for. And there were individuals that came, and what happened in that process was they gave me the opportunity. I'm very grateful for these couple that came, because they were not right. I had the ability to say no in that interaction, to be like, I can't sacrifice this. I can't, although I even attempted to like settle, because I really have to do this. And there was a part that I was just about to lose hope, I have to say, because it was hard, Michael. But each time they came, it gave me the ability to see who I needed to be was somebody who had such a gigantic heart, and the heart was the true essence of his divinity. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to serve together with me. We couldn't serve together. And these few that came, they just couldn't hold the vibration. So, and with gratitude, it's like, it's not it. But what it was for me was I was very adamant, like, absolutely not, until it is the total alignment. And I feel this is important because I've been around so much in the communities, those who are in polyamorous, those who are in the spiritual company, sleeping with spiritual community, sleeping with everybody, and those who are in medicine communities, there are so many communities, to each their own, and no judgment at all. But for me, I was given this temple is holy, and the sacred holiness has to come in. The union is a union in which is utilized for service, for humanity. This divine love is a vehicle in which service is done through it. And I didn't want to share that with somebody that did not have the consciousness. I was very, I so wanted to be with I so wanted to be with my beloved, until I had to become the beloved myself. I was seeking it so much out there, really hopeful for it, so wanted it. And there were several that were so-called wrong because it wasn't just aligned. But what they were showing me was what was also not aligned in me, because I had to really get strong in that place. And that's the other part that took place. So before I met you, I had the experience of going so deep to allow the sacred divine of the masculine divine God to align inside of me. And then that's when I shut all the doors. I said, I have become the beloved myself. I no longer have this need. And just in the moment of total surrender and completely letting it go, you arrive. And on top of this, what I want to share, when I posted on Wednesday about our anniversary, and again thanking Safi so much, one of the things that in the prayer that morning that I felt inspired, I said, wow, I know I have several incredible single friends who are exactly in the same position, that they know they have to be there with their beloved. They know they have to serve their mission with their beloved. They're not interested in dating around. They're not interested in messing around. They really hold this at such respect and honor, and they want to look for the other. They want to find the other. And I felt inspired, Michael. I was like, I think I can really help. I really feel I can help. I know several people. I said, why not create a Facebook page for it? Those who feel exactly like you did. There is somebody that I mean, I had a very specific calling. I don't know about yours, but mine was extremely specific, that I have to be with my divine partner to specifically serve this divine mission. It is my last incarnation. It's very, very specific. The vision, everything is so clear. It's very diamond. It is a diamond frequency, and I don't want to mess around. So I felt, why don't I help those? I know there's some amazing male friends I have that are looking for their partners, and I also know some of my goddess sisters that are looking for their partners, whether it's another female partner or a male partner, it doesn't matter, but they have the same calling. So I really feel I want to do this, Michael.
I think it's a great idea.
Because all around the world, the ones that, okay, here, those who are raw, they're naked in their truth, they know their mission, they're very upfront. Yes, I'm looking for my divine partner, and they're willing to stand up for it. I want, this is what's been guided to me. And maybe you guys can meet each other through that portal.
And what's beautiful about that is, I find, as many of us know, a lot of times we meet friends through friends, and when we hold the same vibration, same love, then it opens up the opportunity to really see who's out there. Because obviously Facebook, we have those elements to see mutual friends' energies, but isn't it wonderful to see that, you know, my vision before meeting Honey was, I always dreamed of, and it was really right around the area that I kept getting, that between 40, 41, I'm going to meet my divine partner. Not only meet her, I knew that I was going to be in service of her and follow what meant so much. And that following was to be in the highest state of love.
Yay! Safi's in us. Wait 1 second. Safi, happy anniversary for you bringing us together and celebrating you so much in this moment. Everybody, this is beautiful, Safi. She's the reason why we came together, and she's also you are the inspiration, Safi, that I felt so inspired to do this, to people like you that we love so much, that knows you have to serve your mission just like us. So maybe you all can meet each other in this platform.
And what was so beautiful about Safi is, I remember meeting her at the Center of Spiritual Living, and she was just playing her beautiful, fabulous song of just drum and voice coming out. And immediately it was like, I knew this person. I got to go speak to this person. And we like gravitated. You know, I remember like you gave me your number or a card. I lost it. You called back the next day. Like, I have a friend that I'd like, or I have an event that I'm going to. Would you like to go? And there was just this magical connection that started to weave. And you know, every time that we draw the gratitude and just the ability to find that, like, wow, we always come back to our sacred sister Safi, because we know, Safi, it was of complete honor and respect and divine energy that brought all of us together. And that night where we got to share is like a momentous time of history where we're like, wow. So I really feel, Safi, and all the good energy that's happening, your divine partner, your divine is coming through. And if you called it late coming in, Honey was speaking about creating a network.
A specific Facebook page. And I want to reach out to several that I know, that those that really know they're not supposed to be 10 different people. There's a specific counterpart with them. It is their divine partner to complete the earth mission, and they are looking for each other, but they're willing to be so raw with that and create this Facebook private page for those they're not interested in relationships, regular relationships, to creating none of that. It's mission and service, and their love is the fuel for it. So I want those who have this calling to meet each other, and maybe there is a spark, because it's the energy of love. And like Safi, when you introduced it, you didn't have any intention, you just felt something, and that's what it is, when we just feel something and we let it go and see how it plays out. So you're really the inspiration for us, because I see you in this, and how incredible for that divine encounter to hold support your incredible energy so you can serve it, and you serve together all these communities. And that feels very strong. And Safi, you are the inspiration indeed.
And one thing, not to veer too much, but I just want to mention a comment that Demetrius said. It really hit me. I'm getting this as it said, when you wrote "Love Thy First," I do feel before meeting Honey, there's been this journey of really self-introspection, really seeing how important, for me, I can only speak of my experiences, to really learn, and it's still a journey that we're going through, how to honor myself, how to love myself, how to value myself, how to really bring that within, because as that vibration is building within my own self-love, that emanates outward and it attracts that energy and what's coming forward. And I find that a lot of times we look so hard outwardly and we're looking, yet it's that journey inward to really love thyself. Thank you, Demetrius. Love first and bring forth what it is, because when we value ourselves, when we respect ourselves, when we honor ourselves, we're emanating the highest powerful energy of love through ourselves. And then we just direct our intention to where that is going so the universe can give exactly what's harnessing it. And many times I find the old Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella story, if we look so far outward that someone's going to complete us, first we have to learn about our own completion within. And again, not that I had it fully completed when I met you, not that it was in a fullness of what it was, but I remember before meeting you, there was a very big journey of how can I love myself greater? What can I do in my own nature so that I can really harness that love within? Because that was going to give me the opportunity to share that love.
Absolutely. I feel that which you're seeking is always seeking you. So I feel for me too, I had to become the beloved myself before the beloved materialized. And it came from the beloved that I bow to. So it was just bowing to that sacredness inside of me and holding myself in that place of respect and value for the being that's me, and allowing all of these things, because the energy was outward before, from leaking the energy where the judgment of others had quite an impact. And so and that's their gift that came along till I was able to harness it and hold the vibration within, so it no longer had an impact in my own becoming. Then it was, and then and frankly, Michael, we had it's beautiful, we came together, but even I feel like even that coming together, we had a very difficult year. We faced so many things, and so even that this beautiful union coming, serving together, all of this, I feel that as we have also publicly shared, there's just tremendous beauty and tremendous beauty. But in order for it to be a divine love, so much impurities had to clear out of the way. I mean, there was tremendous amount that were also within our field that had to be faced, and had to, and for us to grow, grow together. I mean,
I feel part of it was, when I met Honey was ready. She was ready to take off. She was ready to go.
I was ready to
She was ready to go to the moon and back into circles. And then here I was, just kind of like, well, surfing in Mexico, I'm enjoying this life. Oh, I meet Honey, let's just see. She was ready to do this, and all of my shit came out. All of my fear of commitment, my fear of signing a lease, all the ego portions of me. And really what I noticed about myself, to speak, was for such a long time I was so independent. And so to then open that journey and then meet you and then completely share, I noticed there was all these areas of letting go of the control, of being like, okay, this is no longer just my journey. This is a journey that we're sharing. And as it started coming up, all those layers of the, areas where I may have just felt a little embarrassed, or the areas that I felt insecure. And what I'm so grateful for is Yes, it was difficult. And I also feel the greatest gift of what relationships are is they really teach. I find that the gift of being in a relationship, divine relationship, we are not going to be able to grow any deeper unless we are placed together
Yeah.
and see that. And what I really see is a lot of energy that, when we were put together, we weren't just placed together. If most people knows, we are placed in our energy fields, and we're constantly. So we're not away from each
living
other.
together,
So we're living
teaching together, healing together, talking like it's
so
just
the universe is going to say,
constantly.
okay, we're going to place you together. And I feel, yes, there's been a lot of conflicts, a lot of challenges, yet there's also been a lot of growth and a lot of evolution of that, because I feel one part is for us, one part is for the consciousness, one part is just to show that, I had this question from a very good friend. They said, okay, when you're in a conscious divine union, do things come up? Are all things always perfect? And I said, there are things that come up. There are things that allow us, because in that divinity, we are creating the reality for that perfection. And we are creating the ability, but we all have those areas that we're cleansing within ourselves. We have all those areas that we're moving into that. And so sometimes we imagine a perfect relationship with a perfect nature, yet there's not one individual that may not have the conditions, beliefs, programs, and just the traumas and dramas that naturally have to come up. And so I find it's like, I find it's like a wave in some aspects. You're swimming, you're going through the waves. It can be choppy water, but when you move through that wave and come onto the other side of that and come through the transformation of it, then you look back and say, yes, it was choppy and turbulent. And yes, I completely, I'm very grateful that you expressed that, because I didn't realize how immature I was in that moment of coming back and being like, wow, am I ready? Because I was just sitting there standing and looking at you with someone that's been in a relationship of 25 years, an experienced worker, an individual that has had
a
mother,
and,
children,
like,
and I was just coming out of Mexico back to America for the first time, and just recognizing not only just honey, but I'm back in the United States of America, being like, whoa, third world, first world, here we go. Now, like, stretch, pulled. The beauty of it is, I find through those transformations, we become stronger, we've become more resilient, and we've learned and grown so much about each other and how to constantly evolving, because I find the gift with us, the beauty of it is, we really hold each other accountable. And the gift that you've held me accountable so many times, see, okay, here's this, here's that. And what I'm grateful for myself is recognizing it and willing to look at that, and how can I evolve through that and allow myself to fully see it, grow, learn from it, and then demonstrate from love. Because love is what is the glue that holds everything together. And and so I find I almost look at it as challenge, conflict, but the master tests, the master training. Ascended masters will bring you together and say, okay, we're going to place this forward. We're going to place this into the highest rigorous level, because, there were components, there are moments where, a father that's on his way to transitioning, ex-husband that has some certain, that there's some transitionings in our own individual life. How can we transition through our own individual life as we also bring our personal and spiritual life together and get through those hurdles as we go through what I feel one of the most beautiful, wonderful, dense areas of Washington, D.C. So I felt like it was like a beautiful ground to really see how are these two going to act. And I feel we did amazing through it. I mean, there's been some ups and downs, and I've definitely pulled your strings to the highest level. And as I said earlier, I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your perseverance. And I honor the fact that there was a lot of things within myself that I just wasn't ready. And I admit that. But as that growth started happening and getting stronger and stronger, and as the ego started getting pulled, I felt that burning off those layers has now exposed the depth in my heart, and the expansion has really moved from where we first started. Because in the beginning we were, it was like, whoosh, and then once we got into it and came back, that's when a lot of the energies exposed itself. So it was really powerful, very powerful. And on a powerful day, what I really want to bring forward is a surprise, because on surprises,
Mhm.
these surprises are the best thing, because Honey and I have been going through this element of manifestation in the belief itself. So Honey doesn't know this, but because you guys are all there, there is something that I want to share with you guys and share a part of our beautiful day, and also share with Honey. But to do this, Honey needs to close her eyes.
No way.
Yes, yeah,
No
way.
way.
Yes, way. Yes, way. This is
Seriously?
yes. You have to close your eyes. This is the trust that we're gonna place first. You got to close your eyes.
Do they know you had planned
No,
this?
they don't even know. They don't even know. So you got to close your eyes.
Okay.
And now, as you close your eyes, I need 10 seconds, and I want you to just start talking to them. And what this feels like right now. Don't look through your hands.
Okay,
Talk.
I'm totally surprised because we got up this morning, and so on Wednesday I gave I told Michael we get little tiny gifts for each other. So on Wednesday morning I gave him something because Wednesday is more the anniversary for me, and today Michael brought a couple of little things, and I'd ordered something, but because we had the snow, it didn't arrive yesterday. So I really wanted to have the. So I wanted to give him Michael the present today, but it's not here. So anyway, so it's nice to be surprised. Oh my God, it's Michael! I'm so excited! Oh my God, it's the unicorn with the gold thing, isn't it? Michael, it's the unicorn, isn't it? You got me a unicorn, didn't you?
Open your eyes. She's been looking for a unicorn.
Oh my God!
She's been looking for a unicorn. I went through so many stuffed animals. Pink unicorn, purple unicorn. And she says, don't get me a unicorn unless it has a golden, and it has a little
Oh my
golden
God! Oh my goodness!
She wanted.
Oh
I
my
went to
goodness!
so many
I
places.
so wanted a unicorn.
Every unicorn had purple. It had rainbow. All she said she wanted a fluffy.
I like this one with the mohawk.
And all the unicorns didn't have a gold thing. And this.
Yeah, I got my unicorn.
And you know the funny thing is,
Lisa.
right when I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to order one off Amazon. I'm not gonna get it in time for our official
I asked
level.
you this morning, where's the unicorn? Let's go get a unicorn.
So I told her like I couldn't find the unicorn. I literally said the last one, angels, just let me find a unicorn. After dozens of different toys, I went around the corner and I saw this and I was like,
this is exactly the unicorn. I wanted a fluffy one. Oh my God, it looks like a dragon uniform.
I saw it, and the cutest thing about this unicorn is it has this like pink mohawk. Even her best friend, when we went over on Wednesday, our official every Wednesday holiday was one to give her a unicorn. Like, no, give me the thing. One of her good friends, Wendy's like, I found the unicorn in Whole Foods. It's like, let me just get the unicorn.
I love it, Mark. So yesterday morning, was Wednesday morning when we did our every Wednesday when we sit together after our own individual prayer, then we sit together, we do our meditation together. And I saw the golden energy and the pure white light, dazzling light coming in. And I saw 7 unicorns. It was unicorns. It was so incredible, so incredible. For those of you that may not know, I've had one direct experience with unicorn that touched me beyond words. I was in nature a few years ago, and I was by a river, and I had been just finished drumming. I don't know if you know this story, Michael, but I experienced this incredible, till this day, I don't know how to put it in words. It was very much like a Christ energy coming behind me, and I had no idea what it was. And I just looked behind me. I kid you not, there was a ball about this size, Michael, and inside of it was an alive unicorn, white and gold, Michael. And all I remember, just tears, and the hair in my body stood up, tears. And the unicorn telepathically said to me, we know you're working for humanity's evolution. We only appear to those who are of service to humanity. And he said, this unicorn says, we work directly with the archangels. And just like that, the orb like this left. And I just cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I so wish to have that experience only once. Like very visibly, I experienced it. It meant so much to me. So in meditation, when it appears, it's not that often. Like Wednesday, and then the 7 corons of the ray of light were on them. It's so touching for me, and I knew I just have to have a unicorn in my hands, in this way, with
And
the little girl.
Did you see the unicorn? First of all, it has the gold feet, the gold hands, the gold thing. Thank you, Demetrius. He says, what is its name? And as we see Pinky, Pegasus.
I'm gonna find out.
We'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Like to me, yesterday, I can't. I was having this moment.
I was so sad this morning. He opened. So let me show you this real quick, and then we want to talk about the 11:11. So this morning, Michael, put a few presents on the bed.
I like to be
for me, and so we do cute little things. So these are the couple of things that he had gotten me. So he had sneaked this
Morocco
and this from Morocco, which was amazing because nothing passes me, but somehow he sneaked this. He did amazing.
Let's go check in luggage.
Yeah. So this was a little coin thing, but this is part of the Tangier in Morocco that they do. But this one, the bigger ones, they put the breads and all of that in there.
You could put a tortilla.
Tortilla, but it's just so little. But I love this so much. I was so happy to see it. And then when Michael also gave this to me, he knows how I'm crazy about owls, as Demetrius knows. And he had gotten this when we were in Glastonbury. And Michael wrote me a poem. It's my first love poem. I'm so proud of you, Michael.
Thank you. It's fun to be creative, and it's fun to give, and it's just nice to allow. You want to read it? Can you?
Okay, so he asked for me to put my glasses on, but So Michael wrote for me, as we expand our wings in the grace of thee.
Of love.
Oh, in the grace of love, I bow down to thee, my sacred beloved. In the joy, happiness, and beauty you bring to my life, I cherish you to the highest delight. A most divine, precious gift from the gods above. I thank you for being the greatest love. You did so good, sweetie. You did so good. It's so beautiful. So the little, my little girl, the teenager in me, the adult, and the elderly, they all appreciate this moment so much.
Things. And, I always get a little crystal, so I saw.
And he got me one of a Merkaba quartz crystal. I have a couple of them, and I just love them. Just a little bigger one. So we'll go in our altar today. We're resetting our altar today. And so
Honey, on Wednesday, which you said it wasn't really a gift, she blew up this beautiful, beautiful picture, which is just, I use on my altar, but just a very powerful energy where you can see the disciples. And if you look closely, I know it's a little glare right now.
I knew Michael had to have that because we saw it in Glastonbury, and I've seen it before.
Really, really powerful.
Michael had to have it.
So that was very,
that was a surprise for him.
That was a surprise. And then when we were on our, we were doing our planetary healing for the fall equinox, she bought this beauty. She got it blown up where we were in the middle of Stonehenge, pouring down cold weather. It was the only time that you can actually enter the stones during the equinox and solstice of us and our beloved kiss amongst the chaos that was happening.
Very powerful moment.
That was very, very beautiful. One other piece is coming in the mail, and then and of course this is a little surprise for me. So we want to, you guys to be a part of our life as we love you guys all. So I don't know what this is, but look.
Do you know what it is?
It's a superhero. It's Spider-Man.
I know, but do you know what it is?
A Marvel Comic keychain.
No. It's a jump drive.
Oh.
For your
I thought it was a keychain.
No, a jump drive for
Okay.
the superhero you.
Okay, beautiful.
But
I should
so
read it before I actually guess it. Huh?
yeah, so you plug it into your laptop when you gotta save things
Yeah.
on there. Because you know how
Yeah.
you need.
I need something, and I do believe
I just
we're all
felt that was precious.
we're all superheroes itself right there. Yeah, and Angelica, I do love this so much because when you look at this picture, there's so much meaning in behind it. Like you look at the energy that's moving through, and when I first saw this, it spoke to my heart, and I was like, wow, how amazing is it?
We're gonna post the artist for
and
you.
even though there is still a little pointer that Honey forgot to take out, that adds the cuteness of it too, because it's part of the enjoyment of it. But thank you. It's these are the gifts that allow us just the
But I
small
ordered
things.
something. It should arrive today, which Michael. I said to Michael, Michael, it's a anniversary gift, but it's really for us. But one is more for you, but it's really for us. But more was so
most of her gifts that she gives
Yes,
is for us, and I kind of go a little more private romantic because I just like to be the creative.
But this is really
this
supportive of us. So it's small, but I can't wait for you to see it.
So enough about our beautiful us. We
anyway,
want
so
to
thank you so much. We just wanted to share this moment of giddy and also just where we are and what inspired because of Safi and because of so many that you guys are literally in our life. For us, the Facebook, the social media is not just some random, like it's very, our life is with you. We don't feel it separate. So we wanted to just share what that is. And I have one more thing to share, Michael. So as I've been guided to finish like creating, there's this art, all this art language, sacred geometry art that I'm creating. So I wanted to show you what I've been working on. So a couple of you got a chance to see this for 1111 that came in, that it's 2 different languages and the sacred geometry. And this is a one thing that is going on there. And then there will be also crystals that will be on here, which I'll finish. And then this is the, I'm working on this. It's the counterpart to it, which has the flower of life and the specific crystals and the other geometric patterns. So it's receiving the transmission and the anchoring it into the Earth's grid. So I'll finish this by tomorrow. Hopefully, it takes so many hours. And this is one of them. And then I'm creating 12 specific patterns that I've been asked. And this is part of retiring from working with stargates and gateways and portals, so I can dedicate some of the transmissions coming in into the art that I've been asked. So you get a chance to see a slight little viewpoint of it before it's fully created. So
we'll talk about
let's see where we are. Yay! Let me see. Have we missed anything? Do we need to address anything? Hi, Doreen. Doreen, thank you so much for being with us. And let's see. Hi, Ashley. Ashley, we can't wait to see. We're going to see you before you leave. We're so excited to see you and spend time with you. Thank you, David. Thank you for being on with us. We're very grateful. And thank you, Safi. And let's see. Beautiful, beautiful. Is there anything else here? Michael, my glasses are not on. Is there?
Angelica.
Oh, hello, Angelica. Thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on forward to 11/11/11. So it's almost it's 5 days past 11/11/11. We had our couple of things I'd like to share about this, Michael. So we had our 11/11/11 Stargate event here with channeling the masters. So I felt guided. This was the last official Stargate that I was working with. Safi and Lyra and Anna Jones were with Michael and I last year, November 11/11. But I've been guided to just wrap up on this part of the planetary healing work, which I feel so grateful to finally be retired after 6.5 years of devotion to this. And it's a work, for those of you that may not fully comprehend what it is laying the foundations for the new cities of light. So there's a lot of clearing of the land first, and it's reshifting the frequency of the systems and the institutions and governments and what have you that has anchored within the Earth's grid that program on the functioning, and to come reshift it, rebalance the grid system to anchor the fifth dimensional frequency and higher, so that the new consciousness can become. So as the frequency expands, there's a clearing first, and then is able to be brought forth. So that's how I've been working with the grids, but I've been assigned specifically for the third grid system these past several years. And when I met Michael, I was wrapping it up after about 5 years anyway. And then, but we had to go a little bit further when Michael and I met, and now this specific Stargate was the last for me to serve. So it was a bit emotional, and I wanted it in the privacy of our place, and a very, very sacred energy for those who felt called to be in it, while also going into the full incorporated transmission of channeled state. For those of you that may not know, as a multidimensional transmedium channeler, I fully incorporate, which means for a period, my consciousness personality completely steps aside. So the energy is not just coming here, is fully coming into my body, taking completely over. So it takes form of the being or the beings and the mannerisms, and then the transmission comes through. And it is a lot on my physical vessel. So I've taken several years with this before bringing it out publicly. And our book that we're writing is all the transmissions, all these ascended masters that have spoken through word by word what their teachings are, because we don't own it. So wrapping that up, this Sunday was very, very special. Some of our really sacred friends were there that are very, very important part of our hearts, and it was amazing to witness. For me, once that, the beginning of it was all about teaching what channeling is, what's mediumship, what's transmediumship, what is fully incorporated, and then this specific about this global gathering of the triple gateway, the Stargate, and how it's aligned to the galactic sun, and what really is here, and the amount of communities around Earth that we're gathering. So it's such an honor for us to have our hub of being at the Stargate and allowing this divine essence that we're part of to be brought here on Earth along with everybody else. So I felt it was just such a celebration. And so to go through that, and just I was so emotional that day, and allowing the vibration to love, to hold the vibration here in our apartment.
Which for the first time it was actually channeling with the masters in our apartment, in our heart center place. And Honey did such a powerful, beautiful job to bring forth just an amazing ascended master that.
Well, I don't, let's just clarify. I didn't bring forth.
Well,
I just go into, I go. So when I go into that space of opening, there's a lot of team that are working with me, and who's allowed to literally stream through my vessel, come in. And the second ray of Kohans of the Ray of Light, Lord Lanto, temporarily housed in my vessel, and brought his message to our group, which it was incredible, because I was able to come back to my body relatively well after that, and then hear what the people's experience was. Because when it's happening, when I'm in that space, I don't have a recollection what took place. I experience everything visually on a side. And when we came back, it was incredible, because I got to hear what took place, and I got to watch the frequency. It was uncanny how intense, how profound, how ancient this being was that came through. And frankly, there was a bit of like this, like, oh my God, that presence spoke through me. Because when I watch it, it's like, holy moly, I don't know what I would do if I was in that presence. And it's amazing because you get to meet these presences that talk to you, and you're accustomed to it
The
now.
frequency, by the way, for those that, let's just say if like Martin Luther King was right in front of you, he was sharing his vibration, or there is a person that you're so passionate about that has a message. The gift of honey is when these ascended masters come forward, they're not only being as grateful, as loving, as excited to bring this message forward, they're actually activating all of us
Everybody.
through the message, because through what's happening, there's also energy that's being brought through.
It's a frequency that heals, updates, revitalizes, rejuvenates. There's a lot that happens if they were in person, even if they watch it, because we did record the whole video, and it's 2.5 hours. And
And for those who feel called,
if any of you feel called, you really want to experience the frequency, because we had several people like, oh my God, we really wanted to see it. So I was able to send the video to them, and you can offer your love donation for the blessings that you receive from it, whatever your heart feels. We're more than welcome to provide the video for you, because it's a private link. But it's amazing to hear what took place in people viscerally and vibrationally, frequency, and then following after. So let's go to the following after, because when it took place, I could tell afterwards, like my neck would get very stiff, because the transmission is so intense when it comes through my system, when it's embodied like that, incorporated. So I wanted Michael to work on me the next day.
Well,
Oh yeah.
right before we get through it, for those,
let me use the restroom.
For those that get to feel the transmission, for those that are able to hear it, it's not the importance of what is being specifically said. It's more of the vibration behind it, because even those that may not understand the seven rays, the Koan rays of light, or even know who Lord Lanto is, the message, the energy behind it is what's activating. Because if you can imagine, it's like listening to a beautiful song. And maybe we're not following the lyrics, but the vibration of the song is allowing the spirit to dance and to feel this beautiful sensation. I remember growing up as a kid, I never really listened to the lyrics because I was just so impressed with the vibration of the instruments, the sounds, and all the beauty of what's coming forth. And so when you hear this message, there's this deep activation and remembrance that's automatically allowing you to lift that vibration up. And yes, some that are in the mental body, they can feel maybe pressure or headache or sleepy.
Yeah.
It's just something that what I'm honored is Honey doesn't get a chance to fully, she sees it from her perspective, but doesn't hear the words. The people that are in the audience that's feeling the message, those that are actually allowing it to come forward, as I'm there helping, assisting Honey, it was powerful to look across the audience and eyes were closed and they were just receiving. And so when you receive and feel this vibration, it's an automatic update, an automatic flush, expansion of your body. And that's really, as we know, what we keep reminding, because everything we're saying, we're just reminding you guys, that is what's happening. We're being updated. We're being lifted. We're being cleared.
To
we're being
hold
renewed.
the vibration of love that we are. And his message, his vibration of love was so profound, very close to Yeshua, very close to Buddha. The love was unprecedented. It was and the intensity of it. It was a lot of my system.
It was beautiful.
It was a lot of my system, I have to say.
Each time they come forward, they give not only the place, like Lord Lanto was talking about the Grand Tetons in Wyoming, they give you the visual and the practice of the exercise, and they give you this great love of how happy they are to share this message. And when they come forward, they're always like, welcome, dear beloveds. It's a very ancient, deep reverence that comes forward. And that's why we get so excited to share it, because that reverence really is honoring who we are. who you are, where we are in this fullness. And the more we can love ourselves and
Yeah.
feel that love and expand that love, then we're doing our biggest gift of that expression of
To
love.
humanity.
To
Our
yeah.
greatest gift to humanity is the expression of our love in service, in creation, in its expression, truly in its expression.
And one last piece, the beauty of what honey and what I'm so honored to see is honey in her humbleness, in your ability to be open, strong, and allow the frequency to come through. It's powerful because you open yourself up. When I say bring it through, your physical vessel is allowing this energy to come through. And when you watch this video, you'll see that it's a male presence. It's someone that she's transformed.
The presence had a staff, and one of my fingers were like it was holding a staff.
And the voice changes. And everything shifts so that in a fully incorporated channel, which makes it very special. No disrespect to any other medium, any other channel, but a full incorporated channel.
It's a lot on this. I mean, we don't go into full incorporation unless you've been directly guided and you're under supervision. You're really handling, because you have to understand your vessel, your lifespan is shorter. Your vessel burns quicker. You can't just go in that. It's the frequency. Like I explained, that's why there's a lot of education before. It's like as if I'm plugged into 1,000 watts. I have to raise my vibration so much to be able to allow this frequency for whatever duration to come in. Regular channeling I can do, no problem. It's just from here, head comes out, no problem. It is very much like my voice as I'm talking to you. But when it's incorporated, it involves my entire body. When they come in, you clearly see there's a complete different entity being inside that is speaking. And sometimes it's not just one. There are a few of them come in. And there's like a council. Those are the very heavyweight one. And heavyweight means, I mean, it's just so much on my system. So anyway, it was incredible.
It was
and to receive these past few days, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I still been receiving messages from the way people experience that, what's been happening to them, and whether it's been just by, watching it on video, or the people that came, and also just ourselves. Experiencing ourselves. So I want to share this with you for those of you that do not, and maybe you have an insight that you can help me. So the next time Michael had to work on my neck and shoulder because that gets very tight. My system is still adjusting to the frequencies. So as he was working on me, I've had some soreness, ache here for months now. So I said, Michael, put some needles in here. So he started working on my forearms. And as he did, just things started clearing. And the first part of it was I started receiving a message from, it was around Archangel, it was with Archangel Michael and the Angeligram, but not incorporated, coming and just bringing the messages. And what took place in there was some insights was shown, and I saw that like some things were going out of my hands. My hands had to be purified. And when the first one started purifying, Michael was doing something like this on my fingers. Suddenly, it's like the sky opened up, these cherubims and seraphim angels, and the little ones came down and put a very bright, luminous, golden ankh in my left hand. And my left hand was placed on my body. Then Michael started working on this side, and then same thing. Then again, the sky parted, and they came and placed another golden ankh into my hand, and suddenly from there I was transformed into a past life, and I was inside some kind of chamber, and some kind of ascension chamber. And I was in a tomb that was raised above the ground. Isis showed up right away. As Isis was there, there was one doorway that looked like this. And I don't know what that is, but as it was, I knew it wasn't the king's chamber. It was some other chamber. And Isis was in, there were these guards, and I was in a body, but it looked like I had just died or I was about to die or something like that. And in that body, I was dressed in all white, some cotton, and these ankhs were in my hand in there as well. And the tomb was the guards came placing the tomb, and I was speaking it to Michael what was happening. So they put the tomb over my they closed it, and as they closed it, suddenly inside the tomb became luminous light with these two ankhs. I came out of my body and I went straight up through the center of the small room and went up. And as I went up, I came out top of the pyramid and I went up. And from above, I saw um, I was coming out of the pyramid of Giza. So I don't understand fully what took place, but I went way up to the universe and then dropped in my body, but I was in between worlds. So I had to ask Michael to help bring me back to this here, and that took a little while. So from there, there's this constantly this, I don't know what this is yet. More will be applied, and I'm not interested in any of the history books. I'm not interested. If anybody knows regarding ascension, has some detail about this that can provide, but please not from history, not what been told about the ascension, none of that. I'm not interested. Directly with ascension from the higher consciousness from here, that's where I'm interested in knowing. Please share information.
What was powerful is, continuously, what I'm aware as just a facilitator when working on HoniB is that on this 3D dimension, there's different healings that are taking place. And then the messages that have been coming through her, for example, clearing the emotional body through different techniques or mental body, it's allowing what I am seeing, not only a clearing, a deeper multidimensional healing that other sources are taking place within the body. And I find this is one aspect for all individuals to recognize is being trained as a massage therapist, personal trainer, acupuncturist, all the hand-on body work positions, we are very conscious of the healing takes place that I did. And many that are in the healing arts or go to healers, there's a plane of the physical reality. Yet, which I'm getting greater expansion and looking forward to even to a greater degree, is on multidimensional levels, there are other portions of healing that are taking place. As that conduit's happening, there's multidimensional realms, angelic realms, ascended master realms that are helping guide that as they're taking the individual through in the clearing, revitalization. And what I truly feel from this, the memory or the past life regression that's allowing the healing of that place to come forward as it brings through the message of where to take this. Because what I love about this is sometimes the message is not that clear. It's like this little
a pocket of information, and then more will unfold from that.
From the journey of trusting, from the journey of allowing, through the journey of meditation, through all of our dreams.
Or like how interesting, the same day, Monday, well, the night before on 11, out of nowhere, my dear secret sister Arcturian had sent me a link with her meditation that has to do with the golden ankh with Isis and all of this. And I saw it the next day. I said, Michael, you can't make this up. Those of us who are experiencing this all the time, we see like, oh my gosh. So it's the next phase. So anyway, from there, Monday, I felt so amazing. I woke up in the morning. I said, wow, I felt truly, I'm 46 and a half in this incarnation.
Going on 26, looks like.
I felt for the first time, Michael, I took breath, like the responsibility of Earth had been lifted off my shoulder for the first time. Because I came in very early on, age 4, feeling responsible for Earth, telling my parents how I came to help the people of Earth. I've come to help the humanity of Earth. And I've carried that responsibility on my shoulder but in my action, in my life, in service, in creating center, creating product, like everything is of service to that. I woke up Monday morning. I said, wow, like I've retired. Like the most incredible feeling. Like the space open, it really, really is amazing. And then also feeling so tired, just so that can grow this energy, this 11, 11, 11 triple stargate. And also suddenly, like, wait a minute, when we were in France in September before the equinox, El Morio came through me and spoke for the group. Now Lord Lanta came the second. First it was the first ray, now the second ray. What if the next one, Paul the Venetian, wants to come? And so I'm very curious about that, because there's a reason with that triple flame. So I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to have the next event on January 11th. That was guided. And we're going to do the next channeling with the masters, and let's see what happens.
For those that are interested, it is the 7 flames that, on the internet or in different books that you want to research more about the rays. It's very powerful because it really comes forward in the I am frequency. And this is energy that is coming from the ascended master realm. And we're very honored, as this is part of our daily prayer. This is part of our daily, just daily discipline to constantly honor this, because this is where.
But it's really for those who are consciously active in their ascension, and they know they're ascending. Then they know what temples they have to go, what's the training. It is the commitment, it is the devotion, it is the devotion to the divine within, and going through the rigorous training. And there's an activation, like I was activated when I went to Mount Shasta. And then from there, I've been very intensely working with the 7 rays, teaching the meditations with that, and also going through the temples itself. And where this vessel has to become the temple of divine on earth. So those temples that are in the higher octaves in your finer bodies you visit, it's helping create this vessel become the temple of light for your ascension into the light. And it's not for everybody. It's for those who feel extremely called to it. They're in devotion and service to it. And it's quite extraordinary, because and it's a lot of commitment, and it is of service to humanity. So it moves from the first ray does that. So anyway, having said that, it's been quite incredible with that. And this week, everything that we have been experiencing and watching everybody else around after 11, 11, 11.
Because it's very common after 11, 11 or during it, as many of you have experienced, to feel the headaches, to feel the tiredness, to feel the ascension symptoms, which are very normal, thirsty. And just know that a lot of this is your body is just releasing, purging what no longer serves within. There's a great transformation, and some of us may even look in a personalization of what's happening to my physical body. All this is happening on a collective, national, international level, that we're all being brought forward. So just to honor your
but the mechanics of it, Michael, is that the mechanics of why you feel tired, most don't realize when you are in the presence of such frequency, when it's coming in, your physical body, so it's very much like an ocean, right? Trying to pour its energy through like little tiny stream. That's really what it is. And that's what it is in this vessel. So the tiredness is because it now needs to integrate into it's coming, trickling down into the etheric plane, then coming into the mental plane, then coming to the emotional plane, then it has to come through the physical plane. So the rest, thirsty is a huge part of it. A little bit pressure on the hair is a part of it, because it's coming down, and then you must sleep it off, because the more you sleep, the more you're getting out of the way, so the frequency can come through you, becomes embodied, and goes down to Mother Earth. Water helps you flush everything that is old out, because your 50 trillion cells start spinning to be able to handle that frequency. So you when you rest, you're just out of the way, your body starts moving into the vibration so it can carry such frequency. That's why it's so important. There's nothing wrong with you. And what is happening is the vertical axis is open. Now it needs to move to horizontal axis. So you're coming in that merging of your own resurrection and your axes. And there's really a mechanic around what's taking place physically, which is very important. And we are in it together. And it's very much like with Mother Earth, it's suddenly expanding. So Mother Earth purges, she goes through things, and we are like going like, okay, all of these things have to go because my light body is coming out and I can't hide it anymore, really.
And the beauty of it is we are all in this together. We are in this oneness, because what I appreciate
beautiful
about the 11/11/11 is it was a powerful day, as we know, with 2018 honoring that 11. It's the celebration of oneness. It's the celebration that we're all here together. It's a celebration that many of us that do sometimes feel alone. I know I went through a moment where I just wanted to go back to the stars because I just missed that feeling of just complete constant connection of everything around. And there's times where we just get thrown in different directions. Remembering that we are all one. Yeah. Remembering, I love the message that you're sharing, my dear, is that oneness is the essence that we're all moving toward. That feeling of being completely one, completely in the energy,
with the unicorns and dragons,
completely in that, really helps release the separation, because in all, there are other components that want to keep creating separation. There are other forces that want to keep dividing, and we keep coming back to that oneness. As Bob Marley said, "One heart, one love." It reminds us.
True.
It's the truth that we are all connected.
And that's the thing, Michael. Like we were talking about, I said, Michael, I don't want just part of my day be a presence of love. I want it 24 hours. I want it in my every awakening conscious moment. I don't want to accept where it's just here for like 1 hour and then it finishes. I said, no, like this is this is the reality that is truth to me. What I feel is divine is perfection. Divine is. And we came from that. As it triggered that, it came into separation. Now it's merging back into the oneness. So I want to live from the oneness. I want to be with the people from theirs. I want to communicate with everybody that feels this way constantly. All that I constantly want to be in this vibration, because I know when I'm in this vibration and I put my effort and conscious effort into it, I'm co-creating more of it. And the more we're interacting with this, the more we're collectively creating. There's more network of light, because network of dark has maximized it. It's done its job so well. Now it's our time. Our time is to shine. Our time is to radiate, celebrate, be in the joy of that. And while in the midst of all of this is happening, we have the choice, right? We have the choice still come from love. Doesn't matter what's going on. We still have that choice, right? And I this is the community. This is the reality that I see. Speaking of reality, for January 1st, 2019, Michael and I are going to do an amazing event. And we're so grateful that Rise Wellness Center in Reston, Virginia, just opened the door to us for that day. And we'll record it for those of you who are not there. You can follow up with it. Because what I felt really guided, isn't it time to consciously, fully co-create our reality, but within our visions, and really bring it forth, but hold each other liable for our visions, and support each other's visions of the new humanity, the new reality. So what I felt guided to facilitate with Michael for New Year's Day was this workshop where we go into the experience of the higher visions consciously, and it requires art to we co-create each of the vision, we support each other, and on the first of each month we check in with each other how that vision is, and in 6 months we have another meeting for it. So there was like a whole year of support with this very powerful vision. And whether we do it in person, and those who join us watch the video later, they'll be part of that Facebook page where we're supporting each other. And I feel it's the most incredible opportunity with the love that we have, that we're showing up, standing up for this vision, for ourselves, and then for each other. We're able to bring these into earth and living from them. And I feel it's just time for 2019 to be exactly that. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I feel it's going to be amazing, because it is the shift of realities. This reality, I visualize this reality where I'm constantly sharing this space of pure love, because we're going that way. When we're sending, we're going there anyway. And we're given the opportunity in this density here to live from it here. This is the true mastery. And that's what excites me. Like, whatever opportunity comes, oh, how can I exercise the gift of an ascended state here? That means, all it means is, can I bring love to it? Can I bring love to it? Can I share love in this very difficult moment? Because it's the choice to address it that way. And I want to share it with you. I just constantly want to be around it. The other reality no longer applies in my consciousness. And that's the new earth. We're moving here. But the more we do this, we're able to help shift that too from its density into light. That's the truth that I feel so connected to, Michael. I'm passionate about, and I see it. I'm excited for it, and it makes me feel so alive.
And how beautiful to do it on a day where we can celebrate the first of the year, the first of many beautiful positive changes to come, and just the celebration that we are all here together.
Yes,
we're all here in this just massive evolution.
And how beautiful we're together. Doesn't matter, we're going through it together. And that raw place where we can just share it together. And let me see what is being shared here. Can you read this? I can.
Okay, just beautiful compliments of what's happening on the ascension of happening, of just wanting to eat ice and sleep, honoring the process. Certain comments: don't be obsessed with time and ceremonial boundary. It is the method of result. Result is oneness, the beauty of oneness that comes forth. Activism and spirituality. Just beautiful comments. It looks like Demetrius and another beautiful star. Our eyes are very small in the sense that we're trying to get to all of what is being brought forward in it, but I know it's getting to that time very much. So I want to first of all thank each of you in honoring our tea time wherever in the world you are. If it's lunch here on the East Coast, if it's throughout Europe, it is a deep blessing that you can share with us as we bring forth our love, our passion, and the devotion that what comes through us ultimately we want to share in the higher good of all. And each time we start this, we state this in the highest good that can really help lift and bring this vibration. So I'm very grateful that I get to share this day with my beloved.
Thank you.
And bring forth such a great surprise that I've been just excited to bring forth and to share that love and enjoyment, because really it's that joy that we get to express, and for the joy that you get to feel as we all support each other, because that joy is the vibration that helps us through these beautiful days.
And let us just come together for a moment. Let us offer a blessing for our Friday together, a prayer together. I feel it would be really amazing for this vibration. So I welcome you to just put your hands in your hearts and go ahead and breathe in. Let us breathe in the gold ray of light into our hearts. And let us breathe out the white ray of light outward. So we breathe in love and we're breathing out light. And one more time. Dear Heavenly Mother, Father, God, dear beloved I Am Presence, dear Eternal Flame, the primary flame, the incredible eternal source of all light, of illumination, love, purity, and expansion. We're so blessed to share this moment on this incredible Venus Friday with the joy and expansion of our incredible triple flame. This incredible moment that we have been given to just come together, free from limitations of time and space, in a real continuum platform of divine bliss, divine love, divine ecstasy, divine light, divine groundedness, in the depth of our own essence of love, holding each other's hands, holding our heart even higher, in the trusted freedom space within the stillness of our mind, only vibrating in the same intelligence that vibrates throughout the whole universe, in the oneness, in that 0 point field, allowing the sizzling vibration of love in which the fabrics of life is created from, letting us feel and celebrate each of us in every way that we are allowing the expression of divine to come forth by our courageous action, by coming forth and sharing, doing our good, however way that is brought forth. May we have the courage to come out of our own spiritual closet and share and not hold our light, and maybe not preach to others that in which we have not given to ourselves yet to come forth and shine. May we fully allow these hands to be free, our wings to spread wide, so we can feel the depth of our own liberation and freedom granted by divine. May we breathe in the breath of great spirit into our lungs, feeling the dance of the cosmos inside, recognizing each of us are the spark of divine, and here to share the truth of our beauty, of our divinity, of our courageous expression, however way it's supposed to unfold today and each day. May the I am that is so present within always be allowed to be freed by our own selves through the compassion and mercy of our own heart. We're together as one sound, one heart. May we always lift each other rather than question and come from the judgment. From that which we are not doing ourselves. May we reflect the mirror inward and only see the divine flame within, so it can purify all the areas that are holding our light in this day. We're so grateful to this now, to the beloved that is radiating. May we breathe in that truth and walk with each other in celebration of the Almighty. Thank you so much, everyone. May you have the most magic-filled day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the opportunity of your busy day to share tea, share amazing comments, and just celebrate with us. We're here to celebrate, and we're excited to put the Facebook page together for those who are looking for their divine partner. Let us know if that's you. You know you're called to it. Love to include you in there. Thank you so much for all of your actions. Love and gratitude to every single one of you. Aho namaste en lakesh banura esh. Hash hash. See you next Friday. And happy Thanksgiving early. May you carry the gratitude also to your families, though it might be a little bit challenging sometimes. But where you are, stay right here and just be in your elder body and just see your family members in the eye of divinity. We'll see you next Friday. Aho. Have a beautiful day. And let me know if you want to watch the event for 11-11-11. I'll make the YouTube available to you. One light, one love, one heartbeat. That's what we are. Bye-bye.